Right. Greetings. This is production log 2 for the deep dive commercial project I'm doing. It's a student project. Um, and yeah, so since my last production log, okay, stop audio monitoring. This is making it a bit hard to talk. Okay, that's much better. Um, So since my last production log, I've updated the layout character, which is like a crab. I made a simple version of it while I'm working on the high poly sculpt. And I've also refined some of the camera moves for the 8 shots I'm doing. Um, Another thing I did today was I started making the project files for the different foliage I'll be using for the scene. And then I also am gonna make like some coral and some rocks to use in the environment as well. And I'll be importing all those assets into the layout file when I get those done. But first I'll show you the grass that I started on. Um, So right now it's just like straight looking grass. Um, and I made a quick shader for them and baked all the textures. So that's what it looks like here with all the textures baked. I did an ambient occlusion, a diffuse, a roughness, a transmission, and a normal map. That's all going to the principal BSDF. Um, and yeah, feeling pretty good about that. I'm glad I got used to learning how to bake stuff. That's been fun. We'll check out the material here in render view. So this light's pretty bright, but um, yeah, it's essentially how it kind of looks. Maybe I could zoom in more. I do like how it looks when the light shines through it. I think it looks really nice, and maybe this light is really bright. It's the background light, so let's see if we can change that. 65 is gonna be partly more on top. Okay. But anywho, that is that. Maybe does look pretty dark on its own, but we'll see how it looks in the scene and see how I like it then. But until now, so I have these all duplicated, so that means they're a link duplicate instead of a copy. Um, so if I make another alt duplicate, which is a linked duplicate, and let's make a change to the original one. It also updates the linked version. Um, as you can see. And for these little blades, I was thinking of, kind of having them like that. Like how I want to get it looking close to how this kind of wild grass looks. It's pretty dense and it grows pretty high, has some low areas here that kind of come out. It has a little bit of these ends growing on the top, little things. So I may add those, but you know, Since I just changed the linked version, I can keep these base blades, base grass blades like, um, you know, default, and just make changes to these linked duplicates, which is pretty useful for, making changes to stuff, seeing how it looks, and then using that in your scene, so that way you can kind of go back to things if you want to make different changes or don't like what you did. You always have that to go back to. So yeah, I like that way of working. Or you can just undo as well. So that's the grass plates. I'm probably gonna go through the process, similar process for all the props in my scene, which is, getting a reference, working from a 2D plane, modeling it, and then, probably making the shader in Blender, baking all the textures, and then getting the duplicates ready for importing into the scene. So let's check out the actual layout video that I did, and then we'll check out the Blender project file that I have going. And there was a mistake I kept running into with this um, scene, and it's at the very end, so we'll check that out. There's the layout crab. He jumps up onto the pier and then walks to the end to it, walks to the end of it, and then dives into the water. And goes off screen, and whoop, the logo just swooped by. So um, I kept having an issue with that freaking logo. I don't know why it wasn't keyframing right, but it was a very annoying issue. So I'm gonna hopefully resolve that. But I'm really eager to see like what the heck was going wrong with that, because that was not too fun to run into. Yeah, so this is basically the scene I got going on. I made the I made this island in Gaia. Um, then I just applied a mask to half of it to hide the parts am not gonna see for the camera. Also have some subdivision on it. Gonna makes it look better. Some more detail there, but I'm gonna turn that off. Um, and the island is pretty freaking big, so let's go to the pier. I did have a lot of fun modeling this pier. I just worked from a few references. Yeah, it's the pier here. Um, it it was actually pretty bigger than, like the steps are so huge that if a human was to walk up this, half of this would be their body. Like this would be their hip. So these steps are so huge. Um, I ended up making a human reference, right? So this is the human reference using a cube, and this is like 2 meters, which is the size of a human. And if I put it at the steps, you can see like those are freaking big steps. You have to take a big what you call it, big step to get up those. So I actually was like, all right, if that's the case, like if this was if this was scaled up by two, then um, I feel like that fits, like the proportion fits a lot better of how a step would actually be. So I'm thinking of scaling this whole pier down um, by like 0.5. But obviously I would have to do all of it, so let's just do that real quick. I did like the size of the pier at a crossroads. I think I will keep it as is. Um, just something I noticed. So next thing, the whole island is textured using PBR materials, and I'll show you guys that texture. It's actually so I got 7 PBR materials layered onto here. It looks like a big mess, but I can break it down. So these node groups are a different material. I should have them named, but I haven't done that yet. Um, these front ones are the sand, different versions of sand. And this whole group is a rock, two rock shaders, and then a dirt and a grass. Um, and I can show y'all what that looks like. It might take a little bit of time to render, but be fun to look at. Render here. And yeah, within each node group, whoa, what I got going on there? Okay, I'll go into this shading setup here because that has to do with the terrain layers in Gaia. And yeah, I'll go into that in a bit after I show you all this. Let's change the render engine. We'll go with cycles because that's my favorite. It's at 10 samples right now. I don't like that. I usually like just rendering at 1 and it crashed. All right. This was a bit longer than expected, so I think I might. I'll pause the video and I'll show you. I'll continue the video. Sorry. All right. This is attempt number 2, which trying to show you all the rendered view or the textures for the island. All right, and we got some pink textures. I don't like seeing that. I wonder why that happened. We'll have to investigate that and see what's going on. I always run into issues with this stuff, so it's definitely can be nerve-wracking at times, but it's part of the process. It does get on my nerves though. Okay, first I'm gonna fix the light because it is really bright. I always think the base sunlight in Blender comes like really bright by default, and I don't really like that. So yeah, I have some sort of wood material in here. It actually is just like a brown color, but it looks really not that great. And to fix this pink, I'm gonna try to, oh, never mind. Crash again, okay. We'll give us one more go. I might just view it in Eevee. And I'm not too sure why why it's causing all that. It's very frustrating. I'm at about 50,000 faces right now, so I think it's just the screen recording that is affecting it that much. Let's give it another go. Okay, so we got all that's compiling. Let's wait for it to compile. Okay, got some pink shaders still. Those textures look ugly. So yeah, definitely gonna touch this up in the future. That'll be, probably one of the later parts of the project I get into, like at the very last, touching up all those fucking textures. To fix this pink real quick, if you ever have pink in your Blender file and you're wondering why the heck do I have that, um, we're gonna go to external data from file, and you can search for the missing files. You can report them. So I was trying to look for it in this folder, but it's not finding it. So that means we either changed folders or like it got deleted or something like that. So I'm gonna try to find it again. PBR. It said cosand, so that's what I'm gonna try to look for. And let's see if it. Okay, could not find aerial beach. It's looking for aerial beach now. It's looking for aerial beach. Grass 001. Soil out. So I was looking for a couple of things. And let's try to find that grass. So I have aerial beach, cosand. Where the heck would I have the grass? Okay, here's the grass. I just need to select all of this. Okay, the selection is not working well, but don't know why. That's kind of annoying. Okay. We still need aerial beach. Okay. So do that one now. Alright, and it found aerial beach. So we got that solved, got that resolved. Let's save. And soon I will try to touch up these textures, make them look good and all that. And yeah, it's pretty much the update for this production log. So Um, I'll keep working on these plots and the foliage, um, and document the process, see how that goes. Uh, Also, I'll be working on the high poly sculpt for the crab, the texture, the rig, and the skinning. Um, and one thing I want to do on this project is uh, use Pixar's RenderMan, but I'm not too sure if I should actually do it because I would have to convert all these materials to Pixar's material nodes, and I haven't exactly learned all those yet. I haven't even begun to learn it, but it definitely is a goal of mine to start using RenderMan. Um, but we'll see how all that goes. Fixing the logo as well is a big concern because that was messing up and I wasn't sure why. But yeah, happy with how it's going so far. Little by little, everything will, get cleaned up and come together, hopefully. So yeah, thanks for watching.